is this? We're all out of practice being in person. I would like to welcome everyone to our June 3rd, 2021 Board of Education meeting. Nicole, would you be kind enough to say the Pledge of Allegiance? Just start us off. We're with you.
I got
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Put me on the spot one time virtually, and I completely forgot all the words.
Well, I usually pick Ed, and then I decided maybe Ed deserves a break. All right. We're calling our meeting to order. Joanne, may I please have a roll call?
Douglas Beatty.
Here.
Kathy Buckley.
Here.
Ed Marin.
Here.
Christopher Michaud. Crystal Palmer. Here. Nicole Pupor. Here. Mark Sand. Pauline Stone.
Here.
Thank you. May it be resolved that the superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education to approve the agenda. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Doug.
I'll second.
Thank you, Crystal. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. May it be resolved that the Board of Education enter into executive session to discuss pending litigation. I'd also like to say we're inviting Anthony Brock and Kevin Herron.
Yes, and why don't we just revise that for clarity, proposed,
Okay.
pending, or current litigation.
Okay. All right, so to reread it, we'll resolve that the Board of Education enter into executive session to discuss proposed pending and potential litigation.
Or current.
Or current litigation, sorry. All right, may I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Pauline. Second?
I'll second Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. Any questions or discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
No? Abstains? Resolution passes. May it be resolved that the Board of Education return to regular session at 7:02. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Doug.
Second, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal. Any questions or discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. We've set aside two 10-minute segments for public comment. If you would like to make a comment to the Board of Education, I ask you to please stand up and state your name. Before we do that, Mr. Marin is going to be kind enough to share the rules and our policy on public comment.
All right, let's see if I can remember this. This is all pertaining to matters that will imperil the public safety if disclosed. So, oh, that's sorry, that's executive session. Where's my public? So the intent of this whole policy is to have an open, positive discussion and opinion in the 10 minutes during the session. It needs to be as brief as possible. Speakers can comment on any school-related matter during the open session, but complaints have to be first gone through the established complaint procedures, and reserves the right to delay action until later meetings. We do not permit discussion involving district personnel or students. Persons wishing to discuss matters involving personnel students should present their comments and concerns to the superintendent during regular business hours. All speakers should conduct themselves in a civil manner. Obscene language, libelous statements, threats, and violent statements advocating racial, religious, or other forms of prejudice will not be tolerated. The president shall be responsible for orderly conduct, with a strong gavel, and shall rule on such matters as the time to be allowed for public discussion and appropriateness of subject being presented. I think that summarizes.
Is there anyone who would like to approach the board at this time? All right, seeing that there is none, we will move on to reports. Our first report is with Superintendent Daniel Mannix.
My only report is that we will move to recognition of everybody here in 10 minutes because we're waiting for a few more people that were told 7:15.
Ms. Parliament, is there anything else that you would like to add as the business manager?
I don't think I have anything for this evening.
All right. Alexis is not here?
Right.
Okay. All right, so we do not have a Alexis Hawks at this moment. So our next is.
Can I just add something? So the principals do provide Alexis with information, and I will provide you with that information tomorrow, okay, to the board tomorrow
Okay.
from the principals, okay?
All right, excellent. All right.
Do you want us to do the minutes while we can?
I was gonna do a committee report.
Oh, that's
For
what
once
we-
I'm on it then.
That's what I
All right, so next we have committee reports. We have, the two are Audit Committee and Hall of Fame. And I'm gonna start with Audit Committee. On Audit Committee, we met on May 26th. We discussed and reviewed the April 2021 financial reports as submitted by the district treasurer. Treasurer Stahl gave a brief overview of our financial report and gave an update on our food service programs. Discussion was had on status of ELT grant spending. Questions were also asked concerning various aspects of our financial reports throughout the financial overview, including ADP for in-person students only as compared to prior years, requirements for scheduling cybersecurity audits, and a delay in our active shooter drill due to COVID. Our next audit committee, excuse me, our next audit committee is June 22nd at 7:50 a.m. Thank you. Next is Crystal Palmer with Hall of Fame.
So, our Hall of Fame committee met last on May 26th. We had a lively discussion, and appointed a chair and a vice chair to help run that. We were very excited about the applicants that we have received, but we did as a committee feel that having, extending the nomination period by a week, would be beneficial just to increase our pool, since this is the first year of the Hall of Fame committee, the Hall of Fame, and we just want to get as many deserving candidates nominated. So if you have somebody that you think deserves recognition, and remember, this is not only sports related, this is academic or humanitarian, service to our community, please nominate them. I look at the Google form, it's very straightforward, nominate. And we will be making selections, in the next, probably within the next 1 month, so we can alert, the recipients, and we will be planning a very wonderful event in the fall for induction for the first class.
All right, excellent, thank you very much. All right. May it be resolved that the superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education to approve the following minutes. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you, Pauline.
I'll second.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or discussion? Seeing that there's none, all in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. May it be resolved that the superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education to approve the CSE, CPSE, and 504 recommendations dated 6/03/21. May I have a motion, please?
Motion, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Nicole. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. May it be resolved that the superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education that the following resolutions on this consent agenda: resignations, appointments, retirements, and tenure be and are hereby approved. May I have a motion, please?
I'll motion, Doug.
Thank you, Doug.
I'll second, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or discussion? All right, seeing that there is none, all in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. May it be resolved that the superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education that the following resolutions on this consent agenda: contact Champlain Valley Family Center and athletic mergers be and are hereby approved. May I have a motion, please?
Motion?
Thank you, Pauline. Second?
Crystal, I'll second.
Thank you, Krista. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. May it be resolved that the superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education that the following resolutions on this consent agenda, financial reports and trash removal bid, be and are hereby approved. May I have a roll call vote, Joanne, please? Oh, I'm sorry, I need a motion?
I'll move, Chris.
I'll second, Crystal.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Crystal.
Douglas Beebe,
Yes.
Kathy Buckley,
Yes?
Ed Marin,
Yes.
Christopher Michaud,
Yes.
Crystal Palmer,
Yes.
Nicole Pupor,
Yes.
Mark Sam, Pauline Stone.
Yes.
Can we just add, for the purpose of clarity, Mike Hagnor's name is on here, but it wasn't called, and it's just a misprint.
Okay. All right. The bond resolution, is that separate than the one we just passed?
Yes.
Okay. Bond resolution of Beekmantown Central School District adopted
I'll
June
move the
3rd.
bond as written,
Thank you.
because it's 2 pages.
Yes. I assume I need a motion?
Ed motion, second.
Okay, so I have a second?
I'll second, Ms. Lewis.
Thank you, Crystal. All right.
Douglas Beebe,
Yes.
Kathy Buckley,
Yes.
Ed Marin,
Yes.
Christopher Michaud,
Yes.
Crystal Palmer,
Yes.
Nicole Pupor,
Yes.
Mark Sam, Pauline Stone.
Yes.
We went through this really quickly. All we have left is our additional items to discuss.
So we talked about this the last time. We're gonna hold a meeting on July 6th, the reorg meeting. It's gotta be before the 15th, and it seemed like there was no objection. So we're at the speak now or forever hold your peace moment.
July 6th?
July 6th. So it has to be done before the 15th. July 6th is the first Tuesday, not the second Tuesday. It'll be any time before the 15th.
Have a court appearance at 5:45 that evening.
I think the majority of people that I make it those, that's why we chose.
Yeah.
Is the 13th an option? Is that the next one?
I thought that 13th you were on.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the 14th. I can do the 13th if you want everybody there.
It doesn't matter to me.
I'm available.
I'm good with either.
Is there a reason why you're doing
Are you guys available?
Pauline, can you do either the 6th or the 13th? Is the date is an issue for you?
that? 6 or 13th, doesn't matter to me. Okay.
6 or 13th?
I thought something, I had something 13th, I can't recall.
that's not a resolution.
Nope.
Change it, is that what you're doing?
It sounds like we're gonna solve, this won't be another item. The 13th is gonna be the reorg meeting.
Yes. Everyone in this
Whatever you
room
guys want.
seems to feel that date is the most effective date.
So can we just have a motion to set that date then?
Okay. May I have a motion to set the July reorganizational meeting from June 6, 21 to June 13, 21? Oh, July.
July.
Yeah, that would work much, much better. May I have a
I'll move.
motion?
Chris?
Chris motions, second please.
I'll second Crystal.
Crystal seconds.
So it is 7:15 right on the nose.
All right.
I'm sorry, did you just say at 7:15?
It is, sorry, it is 7:15.
Oh.
Sorry,
The
the meeting
reorg
will not
meeting's
be
at
at
5:30?
Well, usually we only do 5:30 if we have an executive session.
Okay,
So,
6:15.
6:15.
very good.
Thank you.
Okay. Right.
Give you a list.
Okay. It's a very beautiful list. All right. Are you gonna bring it up?
I'll hand them to you.
There's a
Okay.
lot, I think you're people, huh?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
This is the best job, just so you guys know. All right. Our first retirement plaque goes to June Levinson. She's been teaching art in our district for 15 years. It is my daughter's favorite course. And I want to thank her so much for all of her time, dedication, and the enjoyment she has brought through students throughout the district for 15 years. Thank you so much. Our next retiree is Sharon Tyrell, speech and hearing handicapped. She was served our district for 15.75 years. We know she's had a phenomenal impact, and we're so grateful for all the time that she's dedicated to our students and our families and our staff. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us. There we go. All right, someday we can shake hands again. Yes, someday. All right. Our next retiree is Patricia Craig. She taught elementary school for 20 years. Thank you so much for all your dedication, your time. We've enjoyed you being part of our staff, and we look forward to seeing your smiling face on Facebook, tan and happy and retired.
Just got signed.
Okay, good, that helps a lot. Our next retiree is Scott Tuller. He taught social studies for 20 years. Thank you so much, Mr. Tuller, for all your time, your dedication, and their contributions to student and staff throughout the district. Our next retiree is Lisa Laporte. She's a teacher's aide, student aide. She has been working with our students for 21.55 years. Thank you so much for all you've done. Person doing this in so long, you have to get one so quick. Thank you so much. Brenda York?
Brenda's on.
Okay. Our next retiree is Brenda York. She is a typist. She has been showing her dedication to our district for 23.15 years. We are very grateful for everything she's done, and I'm sure she's worked through probably in almost every building at one point or another. So thank you so much, Brenda. Enjoy your retirement. Cindy, Our next retiree is Cindy Breen. She's a food service helper and school lunch cashier. She has dedicated 27.59 years to Beekmantown Central School District. We are so grateful for everything you've done. Your patience has been outstanding. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your retirement, Cindy. Our next is Cheryl Turner. And I would like to thank her from all of our kittens. You've been the face of our district for so many years, and you've had a phenomenal impact on every student that walks in the door. And we just want to say thank you so much. You've brightened many, many a day.
So I was walking down the hall the other day and she was manning her post and she saw two of her kittens and I said to them as they walked with me up the ramp, I said, "You're gonna miss being called our kittens." And they go, "No, we're gonna miss that she calls us beautiful every day."
Thank you so much. Congratulations on your retirement. All right, Jamie Hall. The next retiree is Jamie Hall. She's an elementary teacher for 30.35 years. And I don't know if I said it or not, but Cheryl Turner was kind enough to be with us 28 years. All right, next. Pete Villa Jr. Mr. Villa is an elementary teacher that has been teaching in our district for 32 years. Thank you so much for every moment of every day, and we are very grateful for everything that you've done for us. And please enjoy your retirement. Our next is Harold Johnson Jr. He's a custodial worker. This man has been caring for our district for 33 years. Thank you so much. And you were part of the reason. Thank you so much. There you go. Little bit of elbow. All right. Our next retiree is, I can't believe he's retiring. It's hard to believe our district will not have him anymore, is Charles Stone, custodial worker, 36.81 years. Everything you do, from bowling to school. Thank you so much. Enjoy your retirement. So we have Alexis Hawks.
Alexis is in here, so we'll move to add, or do you want to say something about Alexis?
I do want to say a quick, our student officio is not here tonight. Alexis Hawks has done an outstanding job of reporting to our districts consistently. She always has a smile on her face and a positive thing to say, and we're very grateful for all the work and the joy that she's added to our meetings. And we're very grateful, and we wish her great success in her future. The next one is board member Ed Marin. He has reached a level 4 Board Lifetime Achievement Award from New York State School Boards, which is a total of 500 points.
Whatever that. Oh, okay. I guess this is all the extra time at the state level and I'm paid.
There you go. We can skip the next one.
Let's just go.
It's a big one.
All right. Our next one is a 10-year recognition for Sarah Paquette. Where is she? I know she's here. Sarah, you've done an outstanding job with our district, and we're very, very grateful for everything you've done. We wish you the greatest success in your future. And you're smiling through years.
Thank
One thing, thank you everybody for your tremendous service. One thing about Sarah was she applied to be, I think, assistant principal, and we suckered her into being ELT coordinator, and she's like, "What's that?" And we were like, "We really don't know. If you're the person for the job." She hit it out of the park, and then she took on the role of principal, and she's done a fabulous job. And she is leaving us, and I had the pleasure of telling her, like always, it's been awesome when we have somebody comes in and finds our district and leaves it better than they found it, and Sarah's really done that. So thank you. As have all of you guys, so thank you.
Absolutely.
And one other person who I'll speak on behalf of the board. Kathy's dedicated service to the board is unparalleled, and she's done so much. She's been a advocate for all students, and that all students belong here at Beekmantown, and it's just been a pleasure working with you.
I'm going to sit down now, Blake.
Yeah,
I can sit now.
I think we're done.
I just want to thank all the teachers in our community for allowing me the opportunity to be a part of this amazing place. So thank you very much. All right.
We have two more updates on that page.
The reorganizational meeting and
No,
discussion.
left on that page, there's two updates. One we can forego, and we'll wait till the next meeting, and that's the ELO updates, and there'll be a newsletter out tomorrow.
Okay.
But I think it's important that the whole community hears, who's ever listening, or and there's a lot of people here today, about graduation update. And of course, they have Superintendent Nance giving the graduation update, and I want to be doing my job if I didn't delegate that to Principal Pazile. So can you give us a quick update on what our current plans are under the current restrictions for graduation?
Yeah, absolutely. So the current restrictions right now from New York State is outdoors up to 500 without testing, without proof of vaccination. So right now what we're doing is we're having up to 4 guests per graduate. We want to make sure that separated families have the opportunity to have both parents there. As of right now, we have it through a format. We're getting the numbers of how many guests there's going to be. If we're over the 500, we will get the vaccination card. We'll do the testing. We'll do what we have to do. But I think we're going to be able to get underneath the 500, having 4 guests for every student. We're going to do it on the athletic field outside at 6:30 on June 25th. The parents and the family members will be in the field area. Everyone will have their own pod. So they'll have a pod 6 feet apart from another pod on the field. The students, the nice thing about the new regulation is that if you separate the students from the parents, they don't count towards your 500. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to put them in the bleachers behind. They're off the field. That adds another 127, guests that we could possibly have without testing or having proof of approved vaccination. So it's looking pretty good. I think we're going to be right around that 500 number. We're still working diligently every day trying to figure out what those numbers look like. But it will be traditional, it's gonna be, back to some normalcy, which will be really nice to have our families there, and have a traditional type graduation on our brand new athletic field out underneath the lights. It's gonna be a wonderful spectacle, it's gonna be really fun. I can't wait for it. I can't wait to see, the families there at the event again, and, be able to stand in front of everybody to see everybody, see our graduates together again with their family members there. So, it's exciting. So we are working towards that, working with, the health department, working with Ryan Davies over there. I talked to him actually yesterday. And they're ever changing regulations. Maybe by June 25th, they won't have anything over 500. They'll say 1,000, and you can have, but right now we're up to 4, so that we can make it manageable for that factor, but we're gonna make it happen. So it's a fun event. We're also having a couple other events at the high school too, the top 10% ceremony that's happening next Friday. We're doing that in the gymnasium, so we'll have the families there representing those students. We're also having a scholarship night and athletic awards night on the 23rd of June. So we're working out logistics there, and we're just finalizing all the scholarships there to see how many students we have with scholarships, to see how many parents we can allow within the indoor regulations. So the indoor regulations right now are at 250 or less for if you don't need to show proof of vaccination. Because it's hard, parents, it's a lot of burden on parents to get, proof of vaccination, to get tested. So we're trying to, stay within those limits if we can. So I think we can do that with the indoor events too. So a lot of great stuff coming down the pike, exciting, and some normalcy.
And rain day, if it's a little bit of rain or drizzle, we'll probably still have it, but if it's a thunder and lightning, we would push the graduation to this Saturday, is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, 6:30 this Saturday. Yeah.
6:30 Saturday.
Yeah, 26th. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Try to be as thorough as possible.
And we could move to that.
And Charlie's been a huge help with that too, so. Throw it out there, Charlie and I have been working way a lot together, so. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you all for your hard work first.
Yellow update? On page 3, yellow update.
Yeah, he said he's gonna take it and he's gonna put it in the total. That's fine.
So, we just have one more issue to take care of, and we're just waiting on legal advice to take care of it. And it's just about the special election. We'll make that public to everybody, so while we're waiting, if you're more than welcome to see how this all happens, but you're also welcome to go enjoy the rest of your evening.
Tasty Freeze is still open.
Tasty Freeze.
The yellow events, the Tasty Freeze was a huge hit in my first grade.
Shocking.
You got an extra large, you told me, even though I know that's small.
ready?
We're ready to roll.
Whereas the May 18th, 2021 election of the Board of Education members resulted in 3 of the vacant seats being won by the candidates who received the highest, second highest, and third highest votes, and whereas there was a tie for the 4th vacant seat between write-in candidate Andrew Brockway and write-in candidate Cheryl McKenzie, and whereas the board has now determined that pursuant to Education Law 2034, 10, the board shall call a special runoff election to determine which of the 2 candidates shall be elected to the remaining open seat, and now, therefore, the board declares the following. Notice of special runoff election of the voters of the Beekmantown Central School District. The Board of Education of the Beekmantown Central School District hereby gives notice that pursuant to the resolution adopted by the Board of Education of the Beekmantown Central School District of the towns of Beekmantown, Plattsburgh, Shazy, and Altona, held on June 3rd, 2021, and the special runoff election to be qualified voters of the said school district, County of Clinton, State of New York, will be held in the Learning Theater, Haynes Road, across the street from the district office located at 197 Haynes Road, Plattsburgh, New York, on June 22nd, 2021, from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Prevailing time for the the purpose of voting upon the following proposition.
I move the proposition as written.
Thank you. All right.
You second it.
Okay. May I have a motion, please?
You got a motion, okay.
Oh, sorry, that's right. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Chris seconds. Any questions or discussion?
Will this be advertised as well to the community?
Yes,
Thank you.
Do we have anything?
it'll be on our website and in the Sun Community News. Thank you, Jordan.
Excellent. All right. Any
Probably
other,
like Facebook, we'll put it out there.
Okay.
any other questions? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. Please come and vote on June 22nd, 2021. May it be resolved that the superintendent of schools recommends to the Board of Education to approve the following appointments for the June 22nd, sorry, I said that wrong, the June 22nd, 2021 special runoff election. May I have, thank you. May I have a motion, please? You did the motion because you moved the list.
I'll second.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. All right. May it be resolved that the Board of Education adjourn the meeting at 8:06. May I have a motion, please? Thank you, Crystal. Second?
Second.
Pauline? Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Noes? Abstains? Resolution passes. Good night, everyone.